I'm in Source 2 Hammer inside of the Sandbox engine, and I wanted to make a demonstration of how I make a spiral ramp inside of Hammer. I saw tutorials for how to make like spiral staircases, but not really a ramp. Um, what I do with this is basically just a combination of how you make a curved tunnel and then how you make a spiral staircase. So I have this room in the sky, so the ramp has a place to come from. And I'm going to quickly make this entrance here by beveling this, moving it out, maybe make the ceiling higher. Alright, and so now we can delete this face so that there's a way to get out of the room. And then I'm going to select all of the edges here except for the top one. We're going to make a ceiling for the tunnel later. So the first thing that I do here is the pivot manipulation tool. I'm going to move this out. Let me use the 2D view to get a better view of it. And now we hit R to rotate, and we're going to make the first segment of the spiral ramp. The angle that you have set down here is important. A small angle means that the ramp is more smooth in its curves, but also its radius is going to be larger. It's going to take up a whole lot of space if it's, you know, a very small curve, versus a larger angle has a smaller radius. The tunnel will go down quicker, but the walls will be more jagged. I'm going to go with 15. I believe that's the default. And holding shift to extrude, I'm going to rotate this a little bit. And you see we get the first part of this. So now I'm going to hit Shift G a couple of times to repeat that brush. Let me take off a few of these segments. And what we're left with is this curved tunnel without a ceiling. So now to turn this into a ramp, there may be a better way of doing this, but this honestly doesn't take too awfully long. In fact, I think you can even alt-click one of these. No, okay. Basically, I select all of the edges that are on the floor, that make up the floor of this, and I go to transform the T button and set the grid size to what you would like, and then you can move the edges down. The edge that actually connects the tunnel to the room, you don't want to select that, but I'll go ahead and move these down 16 units. And now deselect the last one and do it again. And then you just repeat that process of deselecting the selected edge that's closest to your originating room. And I'm not extruding these, I'm simply just moving them down. Of course, with a larger grid size, you'll get down to the base floor quicker, but then also it'll have a greater slope. If you want the ceiling to come down with the ramp, you can also select these edges and then deselect them as you go along. Or you can just have the floor panel and leave the walls for later. That's another thing I'll do sometimes. But alright, after moving these down, you see that we now have a hallway that the player can go down. And just to demonstrate what I mean by moving the archways down as well. If I just select all of the edges and then deselect these ones so we only have the top edges selected, you can do the same thing. You can just move them down, deselect these two, move it down, so on and so forth. I'll move these down just a little bit more, and then I'll cap it off with a ceiling. Okay, that's fine. So now, probably the way that I would go about making a ceiling for this is... There we go, I don't know what I hit the first time. Bridging these two edges for each ramp segment. So as we go along here and bridge these, we're slowly sealing off this area. Another thing about the angle that you use when you're making your first segment, if you have a small angle, this part of the process becomes a lot more tedious. Alright, and then we can just cap it off at the end here by enclosing it. Again, just hitting B to bridge the edges as we go along. And there we go, we have a spiral ramp.